This week, we're going to talk about being knowledgeable. And I have a story about an incredible book eating boy. Are you ready to read it with me?
So let's take a deep breath and let's begin. Oliver Jeffers presents The Incredible Book Eating Boy. Henry loved books, but not like you and I love books. No, not quite. Henry loved to eat books. It all began quite by mistake one afternoon when he wasn't paying attention. He wasn't sure at first and tried eating a single word, just to test. Next he tried a whole sentence and then a whole page. Yes, Henry definitely liked them. By Wednesday, he had eaten a whole book. And by the end of the month, he could eat a whole book in one go. The Incredible Book Eating Boy! Henry loved eating all sorts of books. Storybooks, dictionaries, atlases, joke books, books of facts, even math books. But red ones were his favorite. And he was going through them at a fierce rate. But here's the best bit. The more he ate, the smarter he got. He ate a book about goldfish, and then he knew what to feed Ginger. Before long, he could do his father's crossword in the newspaper. Monumental! And was even smarter than his teacher in school. Henry loved being smart. He thought that if he kept going, he might even become the smartest person on earth. So, he kept eating books, and he kept getting smarter. And smarter. And smarter. He went from eating books whole to eating them 3 or 4 at a time. Books about anything. Henry wasn't fussy, and he wanted to know it all. But then, things started going not quite so well.
I'm going to eat you!
In fact, they started going very, very wrong. Henry was eating too many books and too quickly at that. He was beginning to feel a little ill. Greenest. Blech. Bouquet is an Irish word for ejecting the contents of your stomach. But here's the worst bit. 6 + 2 = 3? Everything he was learning was getting mixed up. 2 + 6 = elephant? He didn't have time to digest it properly. It became quite embarrassing to speak. Flash 7 4 Suddenly, Henry didn't feel very smart at all.
I know. Miss, me, miss.
More than one person told him he should stop eating books.
No more books.
Your head and belly can't cope.
Besides, it means no one else can enjoy them.
You owe a total of... So Henry gave up eating books and sat sadly for a long time. What was he to do? Then, after a while, and almost by accident, Henry picked up a half-eaten book from the floor. But instead of putting it in his mouth, Henry opened it up and began to read. And it was so good. Henry discovered that he loved to read, and he thought that if he read enough, he might still become the smartest person on earth. It would just take a bit longer. Now Henry reads all the time.
The incredible broccoli eating boy.
Although every now and then...
Boy, I just love this book, and I love how it's got a little bite mark in it. But there's a disclaimer. Please do not try to eat this book at home. So I didn't. Well, what do you think about that? Henry sure got a lot of knowledge from the book, but he didn't have enough time to digest it, and it caused problems. Do you ever feel like sometimes there's just too much jammed in your head at once, and you forget the things that you may have known the day before? It's really important that we get a lot of sleep, because sleep actually helps us remember things that we've learned throughout the day. It's also important that we learn and gain knowledge in digestible chunks, just like Henry learned to do by reading and taking the time to really think instead of trying to get it all at once. It sure sounds like a magical way to gain knowledge, but I sure wouldn't want the problems Henry had. Would you? So I'd love it if you wrote in your comments something that you have learned recently that's really interesting. I'd love to hear something that you know.